Hello. How are we doing? Hello. I am just trying to see if all of my things are working. Okay, we are live. Hi, how's it going? Good to see you. If you can hear me, as always, let me know in the chat. My technology is not working, and of course, there's like weed hackers going on in the background, so I can't freaking hear anything. So I hope that's not too bothersome. They're like slowly moving away as we keep going. Let me make sure we've got YouTube. Okay, so today is part 2 of Emily's Essentials. These are the 3 essential marketing and sales strategies that I implemented on my journey from side hustle to full-time. And even if you are already full-time, the things that I'm teaching here compound over time. That's kind of what I have been, a new way that I'm talking about some of the stuff that I've been teaching. It's compound interest. It works the same way, right? Everything that you do, all of the strategies that you implement, it's compound interest, one on top of the other. The more you do it, the more it will pay off. And eventually, your marketing is just going to happen on autopilot because you're just so used to these routines. And I'm not saying that you will eventually have to stop marketing entirely and sales will just roll in. It's just these things become easier the more you incorporate them into your routine. Okay, great. You can hear me. Thanks, Tim. I'm just going to double check all of my streams. Hello. Hi, Victoria. I'm on Instagram. I'm live on all of the things right now. So if it takes me a minute to get on your comment, bear with me. So today we are talking about, like I said, getting local leads on autopilot. One of my favorite things to talk about. If you've been here for a while, you know I am literally obsessed with SEO. That is the main thing of what we're talking about today. But before we get into this, I want to talk about your marketing in general, marketing and sales. Like I mentioned at the beginning, this is more of it's an ongoing thing, right? So think of it like a Ferris wheel. A Ferris wheel is something that goes round and round and round and goes for as long as the operator has it turned on, right? But it's not like super fast, right? It's a slow, relaxing experience, and it just goes on forever and ever. You can get on at any time. Well, when you're, at the platform. You can get on it at any time. You can get off of it at every time. And it's just like a pleasant thing that we do. Even if you're afraid of heights, just go with me, okay? For the sake of the example, go with me on this. Ferris wheels don't spin super crazy. It is not super fast. It is not a roller coaster. It's a nice, relaxing thing that you can hop on, hop off at any time. There's really never too much of riding a Ferris wheel, right? So if you compare a Ferris wheel to your marketing, that's essentially what it is. It's something that you're doing all of the time. It's a relaxing thing. It eventually can be a relaxing thing. You know exactly how it works, and it just keeps going around and around and around. Now, when it comes to the 3 different types of marketing strategies, today we're talking about long-term, but there's 3 things. There are short-term marketing strategies, there are long-term marketing strategies, and there are networking, face-to-face marketing strategies, which can be both. So I want to give you an example of each of them. A short-term marketing strategy is a sale. It's when you are doing a time-sensitive promotion. So a Black Friday sale, for example, very, very short-term marketing strategy. If you are running a discount or have a coupon or a special for the month of November, that is a short-term marketing strategy. A long-term marketing strategy, which we are going to talk about today, is like blogging. It's like SEO. It's these things that you know are going to pay off in the long term, but you aren't necessarily going to see results from it right away. You can, but the more likely scenario is that over time you will see that compound interest build up. And a networking strategy, a face-to-face, a person-based strategy, is what we talked a lot about yesterday for the first part of Emily's Essentials series. I recommend you go back and watch that because you can make money before the end of the year, like now, if you go back and watch this. Anyway, that's when you reach out to people, you are networking with people, you're going to networking events, you are reaching out to past clients, you're just reaching out to people mostly individually. And that can be both a long-term and a short-term marketing strategy. So my point is, you need all three of these for the Ferris wheel to keep going. A lot of the times, I see photographers and creatives do short-term after short-term after short-term after short-term and then wonder, wow, why am I so tired? And why isn't this working? It's because you're running sale after sale after sale after sale. Like, oh, in March, it's a discount off this. In April, it's a discount off this. In May, it's mini sessions, right? That is not sustainable. Or I see photographers only doing long-term strategies, which technically, yes, will work over time, but you're not going to see results right away. They're only writing blog posts. Other long-term strategies are escaping me right now. Emails can be both long and short-term. You're only sending emails, but then you're not posting on social media, so nobody's joining your email list. And then you're like, wow, I'm doing all of this work, but nothing is happening. Why? That's what happens if you do only long-term strategies. And then in person, you can honestly run a whole business off of face-to-face connection-based relationship marketing. But I know we have a lot of introverts. I see all the people in my comments saying that you're introverts. Me too. Okay, that's why it doesn't work for me to be doing that all of the time. So you need all three. When you layer together all three, that's when the Ferris wheel runs smoothly. It's when you don't have to think about it so much. It's when you are already so used to doing these tasks that it's just like another thing on your to-do list. It's not a huge heavy lift. It just keeps going. But you have to be doing all three. And now the other thing that comes up when I say this, that doesn't mean you have to be marketing 24/7. How long does it take to write a blog post? Like 2 hours max, okay, to get it up and published. If it's taking you longer, you're overthinking it. How long does it take you to reach out to somebody to follow up? Literally 5 minutes, especially if you get my templates, which are going to be part of the Black Friday sale, which I'll talk about at the end. 5 minutes, less than, to just look at your inbox, boop, 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 hit reply with a template, follow up with them. Very short. How long does it take you to schedule a coffee chat or a networking call or join a virtual networking meeting? If it's virtual, like 30, 45 minutes. If it's in person, maybe 3 hours, and you only have to do that once a month. Okay? If you write one blog post, you go to one networking event, and you do all of that follow-up, that's what, 5, 6 hours a month? You can absolutely do that. So I just want to preface that. You need all three. Now today, what we're talking about is specifically long-term strategies. And remember, this compounds over time. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my SEO journey and how it has been super fantastic for me in the long term. The story that I like to tell to illustrate this is when I first started my business, I was doing primarily college graduation photos. That's how I started. I graduated college, I went to California, and I just kept doing college graduation photos. Well, I have quite a lot of blog posts about college graduation photos. I have them about Stanford grads. I have them about Santa Clara University grads. I have them about San Jose State grads. And without fail, every single year, a blog post that I wrote in 2018 or 2019 gets me new inquiries consistently, and I do not even offer really college grad sessions anymore. And that's a lie. I'll still do them. I do really like doing them, but it's not something I market a lot. You're not going to see it on my Instagram. You're not going to see it on my services page. It's literally just these really 2 or 3 blog posts that drive all of these inquiries. It's crazy. So what I want for you is this same result, right? The sooner you start with your SEO, the better. It's so great. And if you are unfamiliar with what SEO means, it stands for search engine optimization. It is essentially how do you get found, or how do you show up when people are searching Boston brand photographer on Google, on Bing. Do people use Bing? Apparently. And even in ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity, whatever AI LLM tool you're using, people are using it to look for photographers and creative service providers. How do I know this? Because I recently booked a client who said she found me on ChatGPT, and she was just as surprised as I was. She was so kind. She filled out my contact form, and I have a question that says, how did you find me? And I hadn't added ChatGPT yet. And she commented, she was like, actually, none of these. I found you on ChatGPT. Isn't that so funny? I felt so silly asking, but you were the top result that came up. How cool. And you know what's even cooler? I did not have to do anything extra for this to happen. All of the work that you do when it comes to showing up on Google, showing up on these search engines, it translates. It's the same thing. There are some tiny tweaks here and there you can make, like to answer more questions that people are asking ChatGPT, and just rephrasing maybe is the way that you say some things on your website and on your blog post, but like it's the same. I have done zero extra work to show up on ChatGPT. It's just all of the work that I have put in already has compounded. There's that compound interest, the compound marketing interest over time has led me to now get leads from ChatGPT. How exciting. Okay. What was I going to talk about next? Let me see. Do we have any questions? Oh, hi, Bernadette. I am on Instagram. I'm just checking for questions. Do we have questions in general about SEO showing up on ChatGPT? We will have time at the end for Q&A, so just drop them as we go along. I am monitoring all of the different things. So the main strategy when it comes to SEO is two things, right? There's two parts to this. First of all, your website has to be good. You have to already be getting leads from your website to start implementing SEO. I just realized I'm really low. I don't know. This is so high. Okay, let's even that out a little bit. If you are not already getting leads from your website, and when I say leads, I mean people filling out your contact form, what I do not want you to do is go ham on your SEO. If your website is not converting, pouring more onto something that isn't working is not going to work. Does that make sense? I do a lot of website audits and reviews inside of my membership, the Profitable Creatives Club. And when people first join, one of the first tasks is to submit your website for audit. And a lot of what I see on that first audit is a website that is not easy to navigate. So that's one of the key things. If I land on your website and in 5 seconds cannot find what you do, who you work with, and where you're based, I'm bouncing. Like, people's attention spans are short, but also you should be able to present that information right at the top of your website. And it should be easy for the user to understand, well, where do I go for what I need? How do I get in touch with them? It needs to be easy. You should be able to time yourself and open your website, find out what you do, where you're based, and fill out your contact form in like a minute. It should be that easy. That's number one. Before you even think about SEO, before you even think about trying to show up on Google, make sure that you have a website that is working for you already. So super important. I cannot emphasize this enough. Now, once you know your website is working and you have had people fill out your contact form from your website, they've either found you through social media, they have found you through like networking events and gone to your website, whatever. Now we can focus on pouring more juice onto the website. What is it? Fuel onto the flame? I'm not very good with these sayings. So whatever it is, you know what I'm trying to say. That is when you start to see this compound marketing interest really, really, really take off. So part two is understanding the basics of SEO. Now, something that I think is a normal train of thought that people have is, okay, SEO sounds really complicated. This sounds really techy. I'm not interested in learning this. Let me just hire somebody to do this. Pause. I want you to hit the brakes on that, because this is perhaps a hot take. There are a lot of SEO agencies out there that don't do anything. Okay, you're going to pay them a monthly fee. They're going to optimize your website for SEO. Then they're not actually going to do anything. And they're just going to be taking your money. And they're going to update some keywords on your website here and there. They're going to do some other things here and there. But it's not actually going to pay off in the long run. And you are going to be shelling out a lot of money month to month to see no results. I was actually just talking about this on a group coaching call with my members. As a photographer, creative business owner, I know all you want to be doing is taking photos. We don't really care about all this other stuff. But if you want to be a good business owner, if you want to go full-time and make a profitable full-time income, you have to have a baseline understanding of these things so that if you do go and hire out for SEO, for social media, for whatever, you have a baseline understanding of how it works so you even know what to look for. Okay, I don't want you to get taken advantage of by people who are going to do that. So that's why I want you to have a baseline understanding of how does SEO work? How do I make basic updates on my website? How do I attract clients on social media? If you just start hiring it out without understanding how it works first and without you getting yourself results first, it is not going to work. Same with like hiring out for a Pinterest manager, literally anything. You need to have a baseline understanding. I see questions coming and I will answer momentarily. I lost my train of thought. No, I didn't. So when it comes to search engine optimization, it's not as complicated as people make it out to be. People make it seem so super duper complicated. I have a couple of playlists on my YouTube video or on my YouTube channel that will break it down for you to get a baseline understanding. But again, that's why we're here. So part 1 of my SEO strategy, have a website that converts. Part 2, blogging. What is a blog? I mean, you've probably seen it on other people's websites if you don't have it already. It's almost like your own personal news feed. A blog is just like a post, an article, whatever. You write some stuff, you add some images, it lives on your website forever. My blog is where I bring in the clients from SEO. I will write blog posts about my clients. I do a lot of client features and client case studies. That's basically just like a portfolio post. So for my photographers, oh, this is so important. Instead of having a standalone portfolio page that has random images from all of the things that you do, don't do that. Write a blog post for each specific client that you have. Now, why do we do this? Because then when you have specific blog posts for each client session or a grouping of sessions that are similar, whether it's at the same location, it's the same type of client, it's like the season of the year, whatever, you can then rank for what they do or what that category is. That was kind of abstract. Let me give you some examples. I rank pretty highly for a few different categories of brand photographers. And if you can Google it, I fluctuate in rankings, but I have so many of these that it doesn't even matter. I rank for some combination of real estate agent brand photos. I also rank for like chiropractor brand photos, lawyer brand photos. What else? Brand photos for coaches. I have a really good blog post that is like consistently my top performing. All of these are, the first 3 I mentioned were individual client case studies. So I just wrote about their session and showed images only from their session. The last one, it's called like brand photo shoot inspiration and ideas for coaches. I work with a lot of coaches, financial coaches, life coaches, like mindset coaches, any form of coach. I made a roundup post of all of my coaches at the time and just showed all of these different ideas. Okay, so then what's happening here? If I'm a lawyer and I'm looking for brand photos, what's the first thing I'm going to search? Probably lawyer brand photos. Oh, what's going to show up there? Emily's pictures. Fabulous. That's basically how it works. And then on top of that, you also add in your location. A big mistake that I see when photographers and creatives first start getting into SEO is they try to rank for everything and for like national searches. You don't need to be showing up just for brand photographer. You're going to get me. I'm in Boston. Maybe you're out in Texas. I don't know. You're going to get literally everyone. What you need to be showing up for are hyper local searches. It doesn't matter if only 50 people are searching that a month. Can you even handle 50 clients a month? You know what I mean? I feel like everybody's like, oh, well, this only gets 50 searches. Like Boston brand photographer only gets 50 searches a month versus Boston headshots gets a bunch more. Well, do you want to sell headshots or do you want to sell brand photography? Do you know what I mean? So we have to hone in on what are our people searching for. The search volume is really not important. Really, really not that important when it comes to location because you just want to show up when that person is there. If it's even only 5 people a month, like, hello, fabulous, okay? So when I talk about search engine optimization and getting these local leads, a lot of the times I see photographers and creatives focused on the wrong things. Throw out everything else. Literally, if you just watch this video, this is all you need. This is all you need to know. you don't have to be so, I'm sinking down again. I don't know what's going on. You don't have to be so worried about showing up for brand photography. Like that's such a broad thing. Or family photographer, such a broad thing. Oh, let me go through this example of family photographer. If you are in the Boston area even, there's lots of little neighborhoods in Boston, right? There's, oh my God, now I'm going to blank because I still don't know where anything is. I'm going to use the Bay Area because I know all the towns there. I rank for Bay Area brand photographer still, even though I haven't lived there for like 3 years at this point. But I've done all that compound interest and I was still taking on clients in that area, okay? But there's also San Francisco. There's also San Jose. There's also Mountain View, Sunnyvale, Redwood City, like all of these little subtowns. I have blog posts, I'm not even joking, for every single one of those cities. So if somebody is in Redwood City, yes, they are in the Bay Area, but I'm also going to show up for that super hyper local search when they search for Redwood City brand photographer. So get specific. Get specific with your neighborhoods. If you live in a town, you know people call different neighborhoods different things. Think about those when you are trying to show up for these results. You don't have to show up for the whole state. You don't have to show up for Tennessee brand photographer. You don't even have to show up for Nashville brand photographer. What are people searching? Maybe they're searching Franklin family photographer, Franklin brand photographer, not even the big metroplex. Same with Atlanta. All of these big metros, you don't have to show up for those. Obviously, that would be ideal, but start small and then build your way up. Okay. I could go on and on about this. I know we have questions, and I promised that I would show you guys my updated AI blogging copilot. So a couple things before we get into questions. If SEO is something that you want to tackle this year, in the next month, which you absolutely can, and you want to make sure your website is up to par, it's actually converting, you want to have a home page that is actually working for you and a services page that is actually working for you, and you want to understand my full step-by-step blogging strategy, next week is my early Black Friday sale. It actually starts this weekend. It's November 16th through 20th. My signature SEO course, it's called SEO for Creatives. It has over 100 students in it. It's going on sale this week. And inside of SEO for Creatives is my updated AI blogging copilot. Essentially, what this tool does is it will help you write blog posts even faster. I used to write them all by hand. Now I can spit them out a lot faster because I have this tool. There's already a tool available, but this one is newer and it's better. And I'm about to show you what it looks like. So I'll show you and then we'll get into questions. Well, we're going to try. I'm screen sharing on Instagram again. You should still be able to hear me, but my face is going to go away because the screen be small. All right. Okay, here we go. Great. I'm just going to check the Instagram feed when it decides to show up. But this, I just ran through an example. How fun. It wrote the blog post for me. I just finished it. I wanted to check. So it does all of the same things that the last AI blogging copilot does. It writes the blog post. Now I want to make it clear, I do copy this, but I do not just like straight up copy and paste this, okay? AI helps you write things faster. It will absolutely not be perfect. This is why, like I said earlier, it's so important to have a baseline understanding of how this works. Because just like if you were to hire a copywriter, if you have AI do this for you, you have to understand what to look for. If you just blindly copy and paste this, it is probably not going to get you the results you want. Just like if you blindly hire an SEO agency or a copywriter to write search engine optimized blog posts, and if you yourself do not know what that means, it's not going to work. So that's why I have SEO for Creatives, so you have a baseline understanding of how it works, and then you can edit this as necessary. Now, the really cool thing about this is you can chat back and forth with this to make edits to your blog post. I'm not going to do that right now in the interest of time because I've been yapping for a hot minute. And then you can also still generate alt text for your images. I'm still working on this. If you are an existing SEO for Creative student, this is not yet available. It will be available next week. I just need to finish there's some things I got to fix, okay? You can upload images here. Look at that. How cool. And it does the meta description, gives you the slug, et cetera, et cetera. So if we go back to the beginning, oh, how cute. Isn't she so cute? Okay. You're going to write the blog post. It's going to ask you all the things you need to know. And if you are looking at this and you're like, what the heck does this mean? When you go through SEO for Creatives, I will walk you step by step through all of these. You're gonna know it like the back of your hand. Okay. So this blog post I wanted to optimize for men branding photos. Brand photo shoot is my additional keyword. I want this to be location optimized to Boston Seaport. Okay, a specific neighborhood, not just Boston, a neighborhood. This is going to be a client case study, and then my call to action is to fill out my contact form. We're doing a live demo, fam. Let's see if this actually works. Okay, great. And I, in the interest of time, have copied and pasted this. It's going to ask you questions based on what we go over in SEO for creatives. I just pasted my answers to these questions. Okay, we're going to go. Isn't it so cute? Great. It's going to go back and forth with you. In the interest of time, I'm going to say, no, it's fine. You can, by all means, chat back and forth. The more information you give it, the better it's going to be. But just because we are short on time and I want to get to questions, we're going to have a go. Great. Good with what I've shared. Okay. Oh my gosh, watch it. The button not show up. Great. Okay. It has all the information. We're just going to hit generate. It'll be a little bit refined when it is available to you. I just, like I said, need to make some updates, but it essentially works. And I just want you to see it go through the whole flow. Oh, gorge. Yeah, see here, when Jay reached out about creating men branding photos, obviously I would not say this. This makes zero sense. So you're going to have to go in and finesse this a little bit and make it sound natural. And then if we go down, it's got all the options. You can upload your images here. Gorgeous. So if you are an existing SEO for Creative student, this will be available next week. And if you are like, yes, Emily, SEO is exactly when I want to get started, because like I said, the sooner you start, the sooner that compound interest starts. Invest your time now to have the marketing payoff in the long term. This will be on sale starting November 16th through November 20th, 4 days only, early Black Friday sale. I'm not doing anything the week of Black Friday. I'm not going to have a secret sale that comes after. This is all I'm going to do because I don't like running sales during holidays. It's just so overwhelming. I don't want to buy anything. Just leave me alone. So that's why we're doing it early. Okay. Now I'm going to get back to questions. Okay. Victoria, I see your questions. Hold on. I'm just trying to figure out. Here we go. Okay. Yes. So if you have questions, drop them in the chat. Is SEO programmable through marketing on Squarespace? Great question. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. It is not something that you need to program. Every single website builder should have the ability for you to go in and change out your SEO settings. So it's not like you have to write custom code. It's just the way that you write the words that go on your website. That goes into SEO. The way that you name your image files on your website, that is part of SEO. The way that you write your blog posts, the titles of your blog posts, that's part of SEO. And then there's other more technical things. So think about when you Google a website, it gives you that link, there's a title, and then there's a description. That is an SEO setting that you can change within your website. So yes, Squarespace does have options to change all of this. All decent website builders should have it. If your website builder does not allow you to change some of these SEO settings, red flag. But show it, Squarespace, Wix, Pixie Set. What else? I can't think of anything else. WordPress, if you're on a main, a WordPress website, all of it will let you update your SEO. If you're I don't know how to do that, I go over that inside of SEO for Creatives. Also, you can check out my YouTube playlist if you want an overview of how it works. Yeah, it's on the back end in your site settings. It depends on which website builder you're using. I personally do not have a Squarespace website, but I've seen the back end of it and it looks pretty straightforward. The website that I was just sharing, that is my AI blogging copilot tool. If you're curious about how I made it, I use Claude to help me make these mini apps. If you have my free brand photography shot list builder, I also used Claude to build it. Some background, I am a former software engineer, so I am pretty good at building these. You have to be very clear in the directions that you give it to make these and to like make updates to it. Anybody can do it, but it is a learned skill. Okay, what other questions do we have? I'm just gonna check over on YouTube. Oh, hello. Lightroom to support SEO on my site. So Lightroom does have some built-in stuff. I honestly don't use Lightroom for this. That's a lie. I'm lying to you. There's a setting inside of Lightroom to add metadata to your JPEG files when you export images. I like to include my business name and my location that I want to show up for. So Boston, Emily Kim Photography, Boston. I don't remember the exact settings because this is like a one and done thing. You know what? I actually don't have a training on this inside of SEO for Creatives. I'm going to add it. SEO for Creatives. Hold on. So, but Lightroom bonus training. If you join SEO for Creatives this week, that is coming. And if you are an existing student, I will send an email when that is in there because that is a good, I totally forgot that I had set that up a bajillion years ago. So that's coming. Bernadette, if you use niche locations, will a search for the bigger keywords still yield it? Example, will SF Bay Area brand photography pick up Silicon Valley brand photography? Probably. So with SEO keywords, you're spinning a web, right? The more relevant information that you have to any one search phrase or keyword phrase is going to support Google in understanding what your website is about. So the reason why I still have the number one spot on Bay Area brand photographer, even though I haven't written a blog post for Bay Area stuff in a while, is because I have, like I said earlier, like Napa, San Jose, Santa Cruz, like I have spun the web so deeply in the Bay Area that I keep showing up. So same in LA, write for the neighborhoods because people are probably searching for that. And not only are people probably searching for that, you can check using a keyword research tool, you're indicating to Google that, hey, Bernadette's website is very knowledgeable about LA things. Like these are all related. She's really telling me like, oh, I should be paying attention to this. Obviously, Google doesn't like think these things, but that's essentially what's happening on the back end. You want to spin the web of related keywords. So I was about to try and list off LA neighborhoods as if I know anything about LA. I know nothing. It allowed for large transcripts. Sure does. I had the first blog post that I tested was based off a YouTube video I wrote. I just copied and pasted the whole transcript. I need to test it with longer things. I will probably have you beta test it for me, Bernadette. And as soon as it's almost ready, I'm going to send it out to existing students if that happens to be before the sale starts. And then you can fill out a support ticket if it doesn't work or if something is broken to help me hone in on it. I am going to need a few beta testers for this. Okay. Recent shoot 2025 NoHo CX Sunday. So that is not a bad start for a file name. But what I like to do with my file names, first of all, I would hyphenate everything because hyphens in a file name is how Google will read the file name. So bay-area-brand-photographer, for example. And that phrase, I'm going to read it off. 2025 NoHo, NOHO, which I'm assuming is like an event or something. CX-Sunday-2802. That doesn't really tell me anything about what it is. So, example, with this example I just showed you, Boston Seaport men branding photos. I might go through and rename that whole gallery that I'm including Boston-brand-photographer-men-branding-photos -1, -2, -3, and then just number it based on that. Because you're telling Google like, hey, this is what this blog post is about. More LA people. NoHo is North Hollywood for my people listening, and you're like, I don't know what that means either. Okay. Follow-ups. Should I put both keywords, Los Angeles brand photography and Sherman Oaks brand photography, in blog posts? Yes. But with my blog posts, okay, so this is something, I go deeper into this inside of the SEO for Creatives course. Your homepage should be your main thing that you want to show up for. And then your blog posts will be offshoots of all of that. I could keep getting into this, but we will be here for 100 years. So inside of SEO for Creatives, I show you how to spin the web of keywords. Can I go back and change previous blog posts with keywords? Yes, you can. What I would check, though, is if you have a blog post that is already ranking really well. So, for example, I have the one that I mentioned that ranks really well for brand photo shoot inspiration for coaches. That is ranking very well. I'm not going to change it because I don't want that. It's showing up for the result that I want it to show up for. If you have outdated or older blog posts that are showing up for things and you're like, I don't really care that I'm showing up here, you're safe to go ahead and change the keywords on those. But if something is working, don't touch it. Okay, I'm coming back through to all of the other platforms. I'm back on Instagram. Side note, do I have any recommendation for the best platform to share images? I really like Pixieset for gallery delivery, just because it's really easy to use, both for me and on the client side. It's pretty. They're always making updates to it. I don't use any of the other features that Pixieset now has because they also do a website builder. They have like contracts and other stuff. I just use it for galleries. I really like it. The other, I mean, they're all fine. The best software is the one that you are going to use. So if you already have a gallery software that's working really well for you, I wouldn't go looking for something else. That goes the same with website builders. We always tend to think the grass is greener on the other side, myself included. I'm a techie, so I'm always looking at software and I get FOMO. Just the one that you already have is going to be the best one. So if you don't have one already, I think Pixieset is a great option. But if you're already on Pass or PickTime, whatever, you're probably fine just to keep with it. Do I use a CRM tool? Oh yeah, this conversation also goes with CRMs. I feel like there's always people think it's greener on the other side. I was one of them. I love and hate when I get this question, because right now I'm on a CRM that I made myself inside of Airtable. I do not recommend this for 99.9% of people out there, but the CRM tool that I do recommend is 17 Hats. That is the first one that I ever used. I am not currently on it right now because I thought the grass was greener on another CRM and it wasn't. I did all this effort and money to switch over and it ended up not being worth it. So 17 Hats I love because it's really straightforward to use. It has all of the features you could ever need. You can do a calendar scheduler, contract, invoice, proposals. You can send emails, workflows, automations. It's really, really fabulous and also really easy to use without all of it just doesn't feel as bloated as some of the other platforms. I feel like other stuff, it's just constantly shoving new features in my face that I don't need. And 17 Hats is a very clean cut 1, 2, 3, send the contract, send the invoice, accept the proposal, send the email. Very straightforward. I really, really like it. Even as a client, if I'm paying somebody or signing a contract in 17 Hats, I really like it. It's a very straightforward user experience. Okay, any other questions? Remember, yesterday, if you didn't catch yesterday's live, which was going over how to turn more leads into bookings before the end of the year, you can catch that on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and all the places. YouTube is the best viewing experience because when I screen share, you can see the whole screen. Today, we talked about SEO, long-term, still local marketing strategies, but something you don't really have to leave your house for is writing blog posts. Yesterday, the tool that I talked about was my client communication email toolkit. Today, my SEO for Creatives course and my new and improved AI blogging copilot. These two things are going to be available during my early Black Friday sale. That's November 16th through 20th, 4 days only. If you want to be notified, get on my email list. I'm going to drop the link in the YouTube comments. It's already in the Facebook comments. And then if you are on Instagram, you can go to my link in bio. I think I put it there. If it's not there, just DM me your email and I will go ahead. You'll get the red carpet service because I'll just add you myself. You don't have to fill out a form or anything. Just send me your email list or your email address. Here we go. This is it. I'm going to drop it. I lost the YouTube window. Here we go. That's where you can sign up to get notified. It is 4 days only. No ifs, ands, or buts. 4 days only. November 16th through the 20th. I was only going to make it 2 days, but I extended it because I know we have some weekend warriors. Palmdale. Oh, yes. I'm just combing through the comments. Google looks only at a file name, or does it include keywords from Lightroom? Yes. So it looks at all of the metadata that you have inside of the image file. So I will record a training for SEO for creatives on how to do that. It looks at it, everything. File name is really important. The image size is also really important. You want to make sure your website is loading in a timely manner. And then the other metadata that you put in, like the back end, I don't know what it's called in Lightroom. I have to look it up again. But the metadata that you associate with the images, it's looking at all of that. Oh no. Well, good timing. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Looks like I'm getting an error. I've never written a blog post or worked on my SEO. What would you recommend as my first step to get started? Go to my YouTube channel. I have a playlist. Let me find out what it's called. My YouTube channel is pretty much the best place to start for all the things. The playlist is called How to Get Photography Clients for Your Business Through Blogging. That will walk you through the process that we went over today in a little bit more detail. And then after you go through that, my course, SEO for Creatives, I walk you through the implementation exactly. You get a checklist of exactly step-by-step, what do I need? You get the AI blogging copilot, which helps you write the blog posts faster. The videos are really quick. Nothing is more than, I think, 12 or 15 minutes, so you can implement it quickly. And when you are going through each page of your website, the idea is, okay, work on your homepage. As you're going through SEO for Creatives, great. Now do your services page, go through SEO for Creatives, you have it. When you're doing a blog post, you can keep the SEO for Creatives checklist right next to you. It's like a companion for you as you are writing your blog post, as you are updating your website. And the really important thing here, I mentioned this earlier, something that I include in SEO for Creatives that is left out of a lot of SEO education is how to make your website usable and friendly and well-designed so that people will actually fill out your contact form. Because like I said earlier, if you are not already getting leads from your website and you start doing all this SEO work, you are not going to get leads from SEO. Your website has to be converting first, and that is the first thing that we do inside of the course, SEO for Creatives. We work on that piece, and then we work on SEO. Some background on me. I used to be a former software engineer. I actually used to design. I worked for a website design agency for 2 or 3 years as well. I both the design side and like the website work. I've done a lot of stuff. So that's what we do. If you are just getting started, go to my YouTube channel, How to Get Photography Clients for Your Business Through Blogging. That is the playlist. What else do we have today? Fab. And if you are new to SEO, you've never worked on SEO, you've never written a blog post, SEO for Creatives will walk you through it step by step. If you are more experienced, you can just skip like the beginning stuff and go straight into my blogging strategy. But it is still good to have. So like I said, SEO for Creatives is going on sale November 16th through 20th, along with the tool I talked about yesterday, my client communication email templates, which is like one-click follow up with leads, my 8-step follow-up process on how I close clients, which you can do before the end of the year, okay? And then tomorrow is the last day of Emily's Essentials already. I've been loving doing these. I'm like, should I just keep doing it? Anyway, tomorrow's the last day. This is really specific for brand photographers, or if you are interested in offering brand photography, because obviously that is what I specialize in. I love brand photography. You could talk about it for forever. So we're going to dive into some brand photographer specific strategies, like client experience, that kind of stuff. That's what we're going over tomorrow. And if you want to get notified of the early Black Friday sale so you don't miss it, get on my email list. If you're on Instagram, the link is in my bio, or just DM me your email address. I will add you myself. Red Carpet Experience. On YouTube, I've dropped it in the chat. And then on Facebook, it is already in the comments. Good to see everyone. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. This again. I don't know how to end it. I need to find it before I say bye. Nobody told me my hair. I found it. Bye.